Hello, my name is Barrett Littlefield.
And I'm Bryn Gallagher. Together we are student attorneys at the Juvenile Justice Practice, part of the Cumberland Legal Aid Clinic. So for the last year, Barrett and I have been able to represent kids facing criminal, civil, and other charges. Today we're here to talk to you about Maine's juvenile justice continuum of care.
Our country's current model of large youth prisons is incapable of meeting the individual mental health and educational needs of youth currently incarcerated and caught up in the juvenile justice system. A system in which upwards of 65 to 70% of youth have been diagnosed with a mental health and/or cognitive disorder. A system incapable of meeting these complex needs fails both the victims and the youth at issue.
So building a continuum of care into Maine's community would allow more youth to be served in their communities and at home rather than being detained and confined. Our poster focused on alternatives to arrest through reentry alternatives, but this is just one part of what can be a much bigger continuum of care based on where you live. So at the reception, we'll address examples of what this looks like, both in Maine and in other states. Maine does a great job of alternatives to arrest, and other states do a great job at other parts of the continuum.
Given the low number of youth currently detained and committed at the Long Creek Youth Development Center, less than 80, Maine has both the advantage to help build innovative, individualized, and capable continuum of care capable of meeting the needs of those youth currently incarcerated, and the advantage to do so within the confines of a budget already reserved for those youth and other at-risk youth in this state. In order to do this, Maine has a few next steps to take, the first of which includes a systems assessment. Before youth can be diverted to alternative community-based programs, youth judges, lawyers, case managers, and other juvenile justice system actors must be fully aware of all existing programs and gaps in services. This system assessment would include system practices and policies and all agencies that currently serve at-risk youth in the state.
The second step Maine needs to take is to conduct conversations with communities about what they're doing currently to serve at-risk youth at home, what they identify as the gaps of service that exist, and those conversations will help inform policymakers and funders.
Lastly, state agencies such as DHHS, Department of Corrections, and Department of Ed must come together to determine how these policy and funding goals can be realized. Creativity and collaboration will be key in ensuring that Maine creates a strong and viable continuum of care in which all Maine juvenile justice involved youth experience a fair, equitable, and responsive system that produces positive youth outcomes.
So in our work, Barrett and I represent consistently youth who fall deeper into the system based on a lack of adequate resources that would be addressed by a proper continuum of care, and we look forward to talking with you more about that at the reception. Thank you.